All right, let's talk about the Defenders. I actually finished this about a week or two ago. But now I'm ready to talk about it. Okay, so right off the bat, let's address the initial problem going into the Defenders, which is the two Marvel Netflix shows that are most relevant for watching the Defenders are Daredevil season 2, which is good but not as good as season 1, and the Iron Fist, which is the almost the definition of the word meh. So let's talk about Iron Fist for real quick because it's probably the most relevant for watching the Defenders. Because the enemy is the Hand, which is also the enemy of Daredevil season 2 and Iron Fist season 1. And Iron Fist season 1 suffers from two main things. When I first watched it, I thought to myself, oh, so it's like a better version of Arrow. And then after watching it, I went back and I watched some Arrow and realized that that was wrong. Arrow is way better than Iron Fist. Two key reasons. One, the fights are actually better in Arrow, and it's a fucking network show. And also, the storytelling is actually better because at least in Arrow, we have flashbacks to these supposed formative years of Green Arrow's time on the island, while in Iron Fist, we just constantly hear rambling about Kunlun, but we never go there. We never see it. We never see him training in the Kung Fu. It's a Kung Fu show that forgets the fact that it's a Kung Fu show. It doesn't take advantage of the Kung Fu aspect of itself, which is why it is so frustrating. It has elements that are okay and even parts that are enjoyable, but god damn it. If you're going to drop the ball in the Kung Fu, what is even the point of an Iron Fist show? And that's what you drop the ball on. The Kung Fu part. So that continues into the Defenders. It's starting out almost an immediately terrible story decision of having everyone in Kunlun be dead. Incidentally, spoilers. Spoiler for that, but that's pretty much how the Defenders open, so it's not super big spoiler. So here's the thing. First of all, I want to state Defenders is better than Iron Fist. It is better, more enjoyable than Iron Fist was, which is not saying terribly much because Iron Fist was so incredibly meh. Here's the best way to describe the Defenders. It's 8 episodes of first not a lot happening, then an episode happens where all the characters put together the pieces so that they all end up in the same place at the same time and meet and then consider themselves all in it together. And there's a pretty cool fight. The first fight scene that involves the first sequence of fighting that involves all of them is pretty cool and pretty well done. Here's the thing, that there's not a lot of story to actually go into here. Like, there's a whole deal with Sigourney Weaver being the evil leader of the Hand, and she tries really hard to make this shit work. She really does. And I almost want to say that she does. But, like, yeah. See, the thing is, there's not actually a lot that happens in the 8 episodes of The Defenders. We intro all the characters all get together, and then the characters just bicker and fight about the best way to handle the Hand for like 5 episodes or so, for like 3 to 5 episodes or so, and then they face the Hand, and that's. And then there's also a resurrected Elektra running around, being an unstoppable killing machine that also has almost no agency of her own, and it just sort of. What I'm saying is there actually isn't much story to it. It's pretty much just getting the characters together, facing the Hand, the Elektra's there, stuff. Like the show is, and then like also you have to deal with the fact the Defenders. Why not? why not name the show Hero for Hire? Is my other point. Like, it makes more sense that this would be Heroes for Hire than the Defenders. In the comic books, the Defenders are Doctor Strange, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and Namor, plus a couple other people like Valkyrie and Nighthawk. I don't know. He's sort of Batman-esque, but so anyways, getting the Defenders. There's basically the main Defenders of Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, the main four Defenders. And like, that's not a great amount of variety because you got Iron Fist and Daredevil who are kicking ass with kung fu, and then you have Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones who are kicking ass with super strength, which means there's not a lot of variety of superhero abilities on display here. It's basically they just show up to things with each other and just fight. So it's actually on par with like the Power Rangers part out of the Zords parts, where they're all basically the same skill set. Because we basically and Misty Knight and the girl from Iron Fist with the katana show up, and like at least that's something because they at least fight different. It's not a super big injection of difference to it, but at least they fight different, and that's something. Now I love kung fu and martial arts, so I'm okay to a certain degree with this. But in terms of superhero shows, it has to be acknowledged we don't have a variety of abilities on display here. Like, yeah. I guess what I'm really saying is the time period of Marvel fans thinking that their Netflix Marvel shows are better than CW's superhero shows, that time is officially over. Because it's not true. It's just not true at all. With Iron Fist and the Defenders, the most hyped of all the Netflix shows, it's just not true anymore. They're not better. They're not as good. Actually, Iron Fist and the Defenders are not as good. And that's like Netflix versus, network. And Netflix has tons of advantages in terms of production over network. So many advantages and how you get to craft your show versus what network people are dealing with. So if you can't be better than a network show on Netflix, you don't really have a lot going on. And the show doesn't really have a lot going on. And I'm going to say this right now. It sounds like I'm taking the piss out of the Defenders. I do want to specify the fact that I enjoyed it. Although the more I think about it, I'm not really sure why. Okay, I'm gonna give it a score. Then we're gonna go to a spoiler section where I talk about the ending and what's wrong with it. It's got pretty solid fight scenes. The fight scenes are definitely more worth watching than Iron Fist. And if you're already invested in all the Marvel Netflix shows, then it's all right to then it's worth watching. That being said, it also feels semi-anticlimactic. There's not a whole lot to it. There's only 8 episodes, which feel like they sort of, and even that feels like they sort of stretch out the actual amount of content excessively. And the final episode follows the same pattern as a lot of the Marvel Netflix shows, where it sort of builds up the tension to something you expect to be a giant climax, and then it's a huge anticlimax, and then the show spends 30 minutes of characters just wrapping up loose ends. I give the Defenders a 7. It's okay. It's entertaining. It's better than Iron Fist. Although it's got a lot of the same problems that the Iron Fist has. If you're already into the Marvel shows, watch it. Definitely. See where all this has been building to. It'll be mildly disappointing, but there's some okay stuff in there too, and some decent fight scenes. All right. Before we go into spoilers, just like, subscribe. Please watch my 8-ball videos, especially if you like my videos and you want my videos to keep showing up in your recommendations, because of YouTube's algorithm, which will punish me for making diverse content. All right. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun jazz. Okay. Now we're going to talk brief spoilers because there's not a lot to spoil. So 3, 2, 1 spoilers. At the end, Daredevil dies. Appears to die. Although we also get a quick glimpse of him in like a hospital bed or something at the end. But like, here's my problem with that. Why? Like, you already released Daredevil Season 3 teaser. We know Daredevil Season 3 is coming. That it's a thing that's happening. Why pretend like he's gonna die? Why pretend like he could possibly be dead? And if you already got Season 3 of Daredevil coming, what is the purpose of this? Why should I care? You know? I don't get what the purpose of that. It seems unnecessary and stupid. I mean, admittedly, these types of shows pretend to, and not even just superhero shows, but a lot of TV shows and Netflix shows and movies and stuff pretend to kill characters off and then bring them back. But like, when we know season 3 is happening, why bother? It seems stupid to me. Honestly, the more I'm thinking about it here, I initially was like, Netflix and Disney, what the hell? You can't let Disney uh, you can't let Disney escape you, Netflix. You need these shows. But having watched them all the way through the Defenders, I'm not sure Netflix does need these shows. They're probably super expensive, and the more than we get, the more disappointing they've become. I honestly, Luke Cage and Daredevil season 1 are still my favorite parts of the Marvel Netflix shows. Yes, I'm aware Jessica Jones is good. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it as much. So yeah, that's actually relatively all I have to say about the Defenders. Yeah. So like, subscribe. I give it a 7. Seriously, Marvel, step up your game. Step up your game.